Live is working. Yes, we're going to break it. Let's see. We're going to just in. Motorola is here. Diaz. Seems like Ashley Diaz has been here before.
She's the one that.
Okay.
She also has a music, which one of them does not have a
Okay. Tell me. On the trial, sorry. Her IDs for school.
Right.
Okay.
She did provide it, but
do we have it from last time by any chance? My memory is she turned down Team Point repeatedly. So we might have it. I don't know if it's still helpful, but I'm going to go ahead and let folks in. Good morning. We have a big day and I had a few technical problems, so I'm starting just a little further behind where I would like to be. But I do welcome everybody to the Temple Municipal Court. I'll actually be just, working through the cases this morning, and I'll actually kind of repeat myself right now because we'll have folks audio connects at different rates. So once I see that people's audio is connected, I'll very likely start moving a little more forward. I have somebody, let's see, I've got a few people coming in that somehow got disconnected. I thought I saw Mr. Matson in the room. Is Mr. Matson in? Let's see, because I'd like to go ahead and start that. Let's call him and see what the problem is, please. No, there's a few people still, Mr. Farr and someone who I don't know who it is coming in. So I do want to welcome everybody to the Temple Municipal Court, and I want to thank you for your time. We'll conduct court online, which is convenient. As long as it remains convenient, we'll do it that way. But of course, if it becomes inconvenient, we have options to come in where we need to, and then most especially on contested matters. But we are working through 2 dockets this morning, and I just want to sort of let everybody kind of know how things move. First of all, there's a pretrial docket, and that pretrial docket involves the city prosecutor and folks who have pleaded not guilty, who are also on the docket. Okay. And that is really a separate, like it's a room. I call it a room. It's a breakout space. And the judge is not part of those conversations where matters are contested. It is important that I just stay very fair and neutral and think of me more like a referee in that regard. I really don't have a side, okay? But that docket is also meeting. And then I will work with people who have either pleaded guilty or no contest, or who already have a sentence. Maybe that sentence isn't working out, and we'll be, troubleshooting and preventing warrants from taking place on those kinds of cases. If you have warrants, I'll be working to resolve those with you. So we do dockets here like a catch-all for whoever has time to be on that docket. I am going to go ahead and start the breakout room with Mr. I'll say it incorrectly, hopefully I'll get it, Mr. Borgelt and Mr. Matson. Mr. Borgelt, if you'll unmute and just, your client is here.
Yes.
Welcome in both settings, but I don't know if you're meeting with the prosecutor with him, or if you're meeting, in court, it would be optional how you might do both, for example. So,
I think that I'd like to have Mr. Farr with me in the meeting, actually. Yeah.
Perfect. I'll just move that meeting over and get it started. Mr. Farr, I'll have you unmute, and both you and your attorney will meet with Mr. Matson. Ryan Matson is our prosecutor. Mr. Matson, if you could unmute and just let everybody know who you are, that'll move you up onto the screen for a moment.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. So I'll go ahead and begin with you all moving over just to get that started. And or that will move automatically.
Can't hear the conversation.
And
It froze up.
I got everybody into the same day. Okay, and so then what I'll do is just what I like to do is tell people sort of how things move through a court. And Mr. Wolf will be with you shortly too. So the way that things move through a court like this one, this is a Class C court. And the cases filed here result in the imposition of fines and costs. They don't result in jail time. People can get warrants, but that's for not appearing or not completing a court order. So all that is to say a couple of things. One is if you have warrants, let's work to resolve them. That means you're working to resolve them with me. And the other thing is that if you get into a court order, such as a class due or a payment due or a document due, you know, if you find that you can't complete what you set up to do, reach out and talk to a clerk and start trying to resolve it with us so that we can prevent warrants from happening. Warrants have a mandated fee by state law, and I can't control that. We do send out notices before we issue them. They are normally things you should know about, such as a missed class or a missed payment or a missed document or missed hours on community service. So if you see that you're not able to do it, don't wait for the warrant letter. What if you don't get it or you moved and didn't realize you didn't change your address with us? You know, reach out. There's no reason to wait. In fact, the earlier you reach out, the more options I'll have for you. Okay, and I will work with anyone sincerely working toward resolution. Okay, so that's one thing I want to highlight. Another thing is I need to kind of count who's here, make sure I have the right file. And I have a few people that I don't know who you are. So there's a young person with a pink shirt, iPhone. Could you just unmute and tell me your name?
Jasmine Locke.
What's the last name?
Locke, L-O-C-K.
Thank you, Miss Locke. Okay, I'll get you in and squared away. And I'm just going to change the name on the screen briefly. It won't change it forever. It will just change it for this meeting so that I don't lose track of you. And I'll just put your last name there so that I don't lose you. There's also a person named, currently named Motorola, Moto G. If you could go ahead and unmute and let me know your name, that would be very helpful.
Yes, Your Honor. My name is Mr. Brian O. McClinton, Sr.
Okay, Brian McClinton. Thank you. Great. And I'm just going to, again, just change it on the screen briefly. And there's feed M or feed them. Just it's a blank screen. I don't have anyone visually on the screen. It says it has video, but anyway, if you could unmute and just tell me who you are.
I'm Brett Houston.
Houston, Mr. Houston, thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Great. I'll keep more track of you now that I know who you are. Thank you. And let's see. Are you able to get your video working, Mr. Houston?
Yes, I can see you.
Well, but I can't see you.
You can't see me?
No, sir.
Hang on a second.
And
Christine.
I'll let you work on that. And then I have a person who just came in under the name Tamar Riemann, and I don't think you can hear me. I have two phone call persons. One is a 254 area code ending in 448, and I've just sent an unmute request.
Does it show your video?
She can't see me.
Yeah, let's stay on the mute for a little while y'all work on the video. Telephone call person, could you tell me your name?
Yes, ma'am. Ivory Allen.
What's the last name? Allen?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Allen. I'll change it on the screen. One of the things that is definitely confusing for folks on the phone is they're not seeing what's happening. And so they don't realize there's a lot of people that will be seen today. And what would really help you, I think, is as long as you just keep listening for your name. And they just went off. So I will No, you're still there. It's a different phone call or got disconnected. Just stay listening. I'll call your name at a certain point and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. There's a gentleman named Kamar Riemann, and if you could just unmute and tell me your name, please. Yes. Right again.
My name is Kamar Rahman.
Hi. Do you have a case before the court, Mr. Rahman?
I have the court last time and I have some problem. I just need some request from you. I had a court last month.
Okay, so sir, let me just, you're not scheduled right now that I can see, but I'll run it down and figure it out. And I'll be with you shortly, okay?
Okay.
Actually, there were several people who got here earlier on the meeting, and I do pay attention to that. And I'm going to honor how people showed up like a line. So
Okay, no problem.
I'll figure out what the issue is in terms of why I don't see you. Yeah, he's not on my list. So and it's not right now. I'm going to see other people, but maybe we could kind of pull together what's going on there. Yeah, okay. Oh, I think this is one where he had asked me to reverse it. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start. I had a person come in on an iPhone, but hey, folks, we're 15 minutes into court. So, I'm going to go ahead and get started. On the iPhone, I would like to know, what is your name, please? I just hit you with an, yeah.
Ashante Gills.
What's the last name?
Gills, Gills.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So I will let you know a few things, okay? When you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are all methods under the law for accusing someone. That is what a ticket is. I have to pause for a moment. Mr. Farr? Mr. Farr, can you unmute? Okay. Well, anyway, this is a Class C court, as I mentioned earlier, and I will just tell you a few things. Everyone has the right to consult with an attorney if you wish. When you enter a plea, you're waiving that right. When you're given a ticket, you're being accused of something, or if you're issued a citation or a ticket, those are accusation methods, okay? Those are ways that people get accused. And when you give a plea, you're giving an answer or a response to that accusation. And there are three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, no contest. Okay. Guilty means you're admitting the offense. You're waiving any interest in contesting anything about that offense. You're moving that case forward. Okay. No contest means you're not admitting it or denying it, and you are similarly moving that case forward. If you plead not guilty, you are contesting the charge. And at that point, you're unable to, you're not plea bargaining. Well, you can plea bargain, I'm sorry. You're not admitting or denying the offense. You're asking the state to prove the case against you. And we have the right to do that. So if you plead not guilty, your case is heading to trial. If you plead no contest or guilty, we're moving your case forward. Miss Allen, you're driving. I have to disconnect you, and you can reconnect when you stop driving. I don't allow it. It's not lawful. And so just
I can stop right now.
Yeah. It's not lawful to do that. So let's not do that, please, especially on screen. So what I will tell you is that, if you're moving forward toward trial, I schedule a pretrial like this one, that breakout group, and we'll schedule that. If you're pleading guilty or no contest, we're moving forward with sentencing. It's also important to note, in the state of Texas, if you make a payment online or by phone, or you mail in a check, for example, you're entering a plea of no contest. you're moving forward. And sometimes people do that. So just be aware of all of those things. So what we're doing today is just trying to move the case forward in the direction that you're taking. Okay, let's stay on mute until it's your turn, because if we all talk at once, well, we might as well not have a meeting. And so I will keep muting people, but it really is very distracting this morning. A lot of people just unmuting so that we can hear their background noise. It doesn't work very well because it starts canceling somebody else's out. I'm going to start with Ayla. I don't know if I'm saying that incorrectly. Blanco, Ms. Blanco, if you could unmute, and I'm just going to pull your file.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sorry, before I get started, I need to do one more thing. I am getting a little distracted this morning, but I'll be right with you. So if you plead guilty or no contest, there are still 4 ways to gain a dismissal in a court like this one. They are, I'm going to tell you what they are, then I'm going to tell you how they work. They are compliance dismissals, driver safety course options, deferred dispositions, and teen court. Compliance dismissals are things that can be brought up to date and dismissed. These are things like a headlight bulb that was burned out and you were cited for the bulb being burned out. Registration can sometimes work that way. If you were insured at the time of the stop, but that was not able to be verified for whatever reason, sometimes we can look at that. So there's about 12 of those. They're mostly related to cars and vehicles. I will walk you through that. If I see that you have something like that, you're welcome to ask me about it, but I'm not going to wait for you to ask. Since you're in the meeting, I'll work with you. The second thing is if you have a moving violation in the state of Texas, you can have a dismissal if you do a driver safety course. Now, one thing that you need to be aware of is that there's a limit to who gets to do that course. And I'll look to see if you're qualified. CDL holders cannot do that course. You can only do a course if you have a Texas Class C license or if you are active military or dependent, if you have an out-of-state license. So and you have to be on time to court. So I'll be looking at those choices. So the other thing is, with the driving safety course option, one thing that you need to also understand is that every ticket has a court cost and a fine. If you call the clerk, you get the whole number, court cost and fine. You can break that down into costs and fines separated. The costs are set by the Texas legislature. The fines are set by the judge. That would be me. In the driver safety course option, you pay the court cost. The fine goes on hold. You turn in your driving record and your class. You have to be the correct record and class on time, and you get your case dismissed and your fine waived. So you will save money, even though you're paying for that class, even though you're paying for your record, it's still going to be less. And the reason for that is that the state has chosen to have this program because they have noticed empirically through evidence-based measures that people drive better after they take the course for a little while. And so they keep that program actively going. If you're not qualified, I'm not able to make exceptions most of the time. That's the second one. And again, that's just saves money. In the third option, which is called a deferred disposition, that is a delay in finding you guilty, accepting your plea. At the time that you enter the plea, you are required to make a request for a deferred disposition. So if you make a plea and you don't ask and you get sentenced, that finishes. And all of this information is available on my website. But anyway, if you do the deferred, that means you request it and the judge agrees to grant it. Okay. If you make the request at the time of your plea and I agree to do it, then we set up a court order in place, a piece of paper. That piece of paper, that instrument tells us what you need to do to gain a dismissal. and we'll have to sort out how we're going to do payment, if there's a class, if there's a community service requirement, if there's a document, etc. Okay, we'll spell that out quickly in the order, and then the case, if you do it, is dismissed. You also have to go a period of time without reoffending. It can be up to 6 months. The main trick with the deferred in a Class C court is that you ask the judge at the time that you enter your plea. Guilty or no contest, I'd like a deferred. That would be how that would look. It was an option on the paper that you were given to fill out. However, some people don't know what it means, maybe didn't read the website either. And so I just go ahead and talk about it now, since you're here. The fourth option is if you're enrolled in high school or middle school, we might look at teen court as an option for you. And I'll just do that with each person where it makes sense. And I see that you're enrolled or that you could be, I might be asking you about that. So the main thing is, for the most part, I'm walking you through these measures other than the deferred, which you're required to initiate. Okay. And that's really important to understand. And it can be confusing because if you go over to other courts like Class B felony courts, you actually can't get a deferred without the prosecutor. Here you can ask the prosecutor or the judge. There's an exception. So that's the 101. Ms. Blanco, let me have you unmute. And let's see. So I did get your information and thank you. I know that you have, a child and all of the things that are stressful. And I see that you made a request for a payment plan. I don't have a problem granting that. There's a couple of things though that I wanted to talk to you about. I know you started a new job and you have income listed at the time that you been almost 2 weeks. And so perhaps we could get that information from you and understand better if that's a realistic goal. So that's one question. You know your income at this time?
Like how much do I make hourly?
No, what your paycheck looks like.
So I will barely get my second paycheck on Thursday.
Okay.
So
it's not really clear yet.
Not yet. And I'm also part-time, but I've been the hours vary. I'm working full-time hours 1 week and then 1 week I'm working part-time hours.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But I did plan to pay the whole 300 when I do get paid on Thursday. Or I think it's 300 and something.
331.
Yes, I did plan to pay that on Thursday.
Okay. Another question I have is just where are you in terms of your license? Because this is driving with an invalid license. And with
yes.
Yeah.
So I called the DPS, the customer service line for this for your license, and they told me that I just needed to get the SR22 insurance, which I couldn't afford at the time, is why I hadn't gotten it yet. But I do have SR22 insurance now, and they said 21 days after the DPS has been notified that I will have my license back.
Okay. Have you been online to check on that? See how that's going, if they've unsuspended you?
I got it about 2 weeks ago, and they told me it would definitely be 21 days until they unsuspend it. So I hadn't, but I can definitely call today and find out.
So one thing that we can do, I know, when are you getting paid?
Thursday.
Okay. What you could do, we can reschedule this for 2 weeks from today for you to get your license unsuspended and do the deferral, if that's what you're requesting. And then in the meantime, you can pay when you're ready to pay between now and then, and they'll receipt it as a bond because the case will be, scheduled, and we can look at a deferral once your license is back up and running. Basically, state law seems to be that DPS will resuspend you if you get a conviction during a suspension. And so if you want to hit a delay since you've done everything you do, I'm okay with resetting you and letting you get also your income kind of felt as well. So do you want to reset to do that deferral when you
Yes, please. I would appreciate that.
Okay. And you can go ahead and pay beforehand. When you are ready to do that, you said you were ready to do that. You can go ahead and do that and we'll lift warrants. I just need a signature today on that reset. Can I email that to you and have you print it, sign it, and email it back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so we'll email that to you. I'm just making a note for the clerk. And all the things that we talked about. And we'll see you on September 27th. Will that work for you?
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it.
Okay, we'll see you then. Okay. Oh, about the deferral. All right. We'll see you then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Mattson, I know that you were talking with, and again, I'm going to try that name. Let me find it on my screen. I have it written down. Borgelt is here. Mr. Borgelt, have you made it back over? Is he still over there?
I think he's still over there, Your Honor.
Okay, let me get him back. Saw Mr. Farr came back, but I couldn't get him moved bonding. So anyway, Mr. Borgelt, Mr. Mattson, let me get that file. All right, here we are. Okay, where are we on all of these?
We're going to go ahead and set for final, Your Honor.
Okay.
Discovery has been requested on this, so that will be put together and sent over to Mr. Borgel as soon as it's ready.
Okay. Final pretrial date I have right now is October 5th at 2:00.
And that works for me, Your Honor. I would respectfully request, I realize that's normally in person, but I am in Austin. If I could zoom in for that one, I would greatly appreciate it.
So I don't do that on the final pretrial because we're doing the setting documents and any pretrial matters that need to be taken up. And while it's not a lengthy hearing, I can work on the time a little. I can work on the date a little. I essentially don't do that on that portion because it's contested. I don't do online trials either.
Understood. Well, I'll make the trip then. Thank you.
Okay. But that is, at least several weeks away. Maybe plan that. And I believe that you'll have discovery before then too. So that ought to expedite what we're doing then, so that you're not here a long time. But if any discovery matters need to be taken up at that point that aren't already resolved, we would do it at that time as well. Mr. Borgelt, do you have anything further?
Nothing further.
Mr. Mattson, do you have anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Borgelt, you're good to exit. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Mr. Wolf, I'm moving you over to that meeting as well. Wolf is here on Nicholas Almond, who isn't also here. So, Mr. Farr, your case, your attorney can talk to you further about it. What I get to let you know right now is that you're scheduled, he is at least scheduled, and you talk with him about whether you're coming October 5th, you're in the court at 2:00. That's it's a contested case. So we're at that point, we're looking at scheduling trial. You can talk with him further about the meaning of all of that, okay? Because I can't discuss it with you, but he can.
Okay.
You're good to go.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. And moving forward, Savini, and I'm going to work hard to try to say the first name correctly, but I may or may not manage it. Let's see. Do you just go by Fia Savini, or is it?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you say that name?
Fia Tupu.
Fia Tupu. What kind of name is that?
Samoan.
Okay, very interesting. So welcome to the Temple Municipal Court. I did receive the information that you submitted and the cases are in warrant. So I did see the concern, there's a reinstatement of the license issue. It's probably because the cases are old and the holds that I have, those get released when I can clear your cases out of my system, meaning a zero balance, whatever that's going to look like. I haven't looked at that part yet, but I did receive guilty pleas on both cases. There's a speeding charge, March 23rd of 2015, and the fines, the fines and costs are $399.10 due to the passage of time they went up. Okay. And then there's one for not coming to court. We call that a violation of the promise to appear, or the state sometimes refers to it as failure to appear. And the fines and costs there are $395.20. And I did receive a guilty plea on that charge as well. Are those your pleas at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then I see you're living over in Cove and
Mhm.
that you are working and you're paid every 2 weeks. What day of the week are you paid?
Every other Friday.
And then your spouse, is your spouse working or attending school?
Attending school.
And that's not you, that's a spouse or a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making sure I understand it. And the other question is, you put down student and then Purdue University as an employer, and then student, and then income monthly. Are those student loans?
No, he's currently getting paid monthly through his GI Bill.
I see, like for school.
Yes.
Okay. Do y'all have children?
No, ma'am.
Do you have anyone disabled in the home?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Is anyone in the home disabled?
No.
Okay. And is anyone in the home receiving disability or food stamps?
No.
Okay. Because, well, the budget for food is not, I think probably you spend more than that on food. So because that wouldn't be enough for 2 people. So I like to look at all the bills. Are these all the bills and expenses? Okay. I would normally order community service instead of payments. You can do it in your community. You don't have to drive over to my area to do that. The thing that becomes different there is that you have to be in a nonprofit organization when you do the community service hours, or I don't get to count it. Okay. But what I'll tell you is I have a list of places where you can do the work over here. You can kind of use it as a starting place to know what I'm looking for. I've got rules and directions, including rules about what to do if you leave the list of places. And then I have a timesheet for you to track your hours. And if we do community service, it turns into 40 hours of community service. And we would start with a due date of November 15th. You don't have to wait that long. If you want to get it done earlier, that's when I'm going to release the hold on the license. So if you choose to do it earlier and get it turned in, then, I clear you out of my system. Okay. Now I don't have control over what the state's program is. Okay. And I will tell you that it is possible. I don't know the full status for you. It is possible that you could wind up with more consequences on the, getting a conviction while you currently are being held on your license. And if that happens, you'll need to get an occupational license. Okay. So if you wind up needing occupational license information, we do have a packet for folks who need that. So these tickets will go into your record in a few weeks. Okay. And you just keep checking online your license status. Okay. So that you can address it if you need to. Okay. because when things have been like this long to be addressed, sometimes it can have an impact, okay?
Yes.
Okay, I just kind of, I'm not your legal advisor, but I kind of alert you about that. Okay,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay. Do you have any questions right now? My thought is that I would email this all to you. There's one page for you to print and sign. The others need to be printed so you can use them. Will that work for you, or do you need to come over here?
Yes, Your Honor. Email works.
Okay, I'll make a note that it's email today. Okay, all right, just look for that in the course of the morning, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Savini, do you have any questions further for me?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll let you go, okay? If you wind up with questions, you always call the clerk and ask, and if they can't get an answer, they will push it over to me and I will get an answer or a meeting set up, okay?
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
Your
you,
Honor.
Ms. Savini. Stay in touch with us.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Mr. Matson, I know that you and Mr. Wolf were talking, and this is on the Nicholas Ament case, and no insurance charge. And where are we with regard to that matter?
Your Honor, Mr. Ament has actually provided updated insurance, so I'll be filing a motion to dismiss with you.
Okay, prosecutor dismissal being sent over today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I will sign it. Mr. Wolf will email the signed copy over to you. Does anyone have any further questions on this matter?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, there had been a discovery request, and I'm assuming that either was done or we're canceling that due to the dismissal. Is that y'all's understanding as well?
Yes,
That's correct. We'll waive that request, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm just making a note of that, and we'll get that over to you this morning. Thank you, Mr. Wolf.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Y'all both have a good day. And Mr. Matson, I'll move you forward with Kiana Mason. Ms. Mason, good morning.
Morning.
I'll move you over to that meeting. I think you've probably already seen how this is working, but if you wind up needing, you should be able to just come back over to the meeting after y'all meet together, you and Mr. Matson. If you're not able to make it happen, he'll let me know and I'll move you back over. But I do want to visit after y'all have visited, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Moving on to that meeting. And Mr. Wolf also exited. Mr. Matson, she's moved over. And I am moving forward with Hovion or Javion Wilcox. You can help me know the way you like your name to be said. That would be great.
Javion.
Javion. Good morning, Javion. Or Mr.
Good morning.
Wilcox. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
Good. I did get your plea on the speeding charge from August 9th, where the fines and costs are $259. I also received your plea of no contest. Before we move forward, and I did receive your teen court request, which I'm inclined to say yes to and grant. I wanted to ask, did you understand the pleading options of guilty, not guilty, and no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you are pleading no contest, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so I will look at teen court. And let me just look at it a tiny bit further. On that one, what is my, what's our rate of speed? How many cases do we have on the teen court document? Okay. Okay, so I can grant teen court. Teen court is now, it's a process where you come to the court for a proceeding. And it's a proceeding like a jury of your peers we do that at Temple High School. And so you would be required to come over for one day, have your sentencing hearing. That jury of your peers will decide a range of punishment of things that you'll do to gain your dismissal. There is a single $20 fee. If there are classes, then you'll pay for those. There's some options if you can't do those classes, if there's something else, you'll sort that out with a case manager. But you come over and you do team court with us over here at Temple High School. It's right after school at 3:30, so you might have to get out of your school a little bit early to come over to that. You'll have appointed advocate for you in that proceeding. There'll be one kind of on the other side of that. And, we would proceed with that. And then you would come back one time in November to be a juror in that process. Are you interested in doing team court?
So then I'll have to, when would I have to come to the high school?
Right, October 12th. No, October 19th. It's a Wednesday. And it's a few hours. We're hanging out all in a group together doing that.
So if I wanted to pay $259, fine, I can get it over with and just do that.
Right, you could. You could also, is he on time? Yeah. Have you been to a driver's safety course in the last year for purposes of getting a ticket dismissed?
No, ma'am.
You could do that instead. You would pay the court costs, which I believe are $149. $144, excuse me. And then you would have a 90-day window to get back, a course that you take for ticket dismissal, and a driving record, which you get online and order and print at home and bring to us. And that would save you a little bit of money. You do have to do a driving safety course if you do that one.
Now, how long is the safety course?
It's a 6-hour course by law. You take it online at your own pace, or you take it around town somewhere all at once that you choose. You choose that. It just has to be not an insurance class, but a class approved for ticket dismissal. So if you want to do that, we can do that.
Yes, ma'am, I can do that.
Okay. When can you pay the $144 and present license and insurance to the court?
Tomorrow.
Okay. So you're signing up on 9/14/22. That's tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
What time will we look for you?
9 o'clock. 9.
Okay. We'll look for you at 9 tomorrow at the clerk's window. Bring your license, insurance, and the $144. Prepare to be here 10, maybe 15 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you then.
All right.
What's extension? Okay. Keeps them on time. Saves us. Mr. Matson, Ms. Mason, where are we with regard to this matter?
Your Honor, I'm going to be giving Ms. Mason some time to send in the updated registration that she said she has.
Okay.
We can go ahead and set for final, but once I receive that, I will be filing a motion to dismiss.
Okay, so Ms. Mason, we're scheduling you right now for a final court hearing here at the court on October 5th at 1. However, if I receive a dismissal from Mr. Matson before that date, I will dismiss the charge. Call and check a couple days before and make sure that everything worked the way you expected it to. And the two of you are communicating outside of what I need. But he'll send me that dismissal once y'all's agreement is met. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna take it in that direction then. Miss Mason, you're free to go.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Matson, I'm moving you with Michael Trevino. Mr. Trevino, let me find you. He was here.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
There you go. Great.
Hello.
Okay. I just see like a portion of your head.
There
So
we go.
very helpful. Thank you. Okay, so I'm moving you over to that meeting at this time. and I am moving forward as well. My next person is Ashley Diaz. Ms. Diaz, if you could unmute, please. Okay, turn your volume all the way up. Mine is. That'll help us.
Hello.
Great, thank you.
You're
Let's-
welcome.
So I had a few things happening here. Where are you in school? Where do you go to school?
I can't hear you.
Yeah, there's something going on with your volume. Is this better?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, where do you go to school?
I go to school at Frank Edwards. It's like 4 minutes away from T High.
Yes, I know Edwards.
Mhm.
One thing about Edwards Academy, I just have your ID from last year at
Yes, ma'am.
THS, and your new ID, I need a copy of it. I believe you tried to send it, but we couldn't read it. So we want to get that from you. The other thing is we have, let's see, an expired motor vehicle charge, and this is December 17th. And no, I'm sorry, this is from June 22nd. The fines and costs are $151. How are you pleading to that charge? I have a guilty plea. Is that how you're pleading?
I think I'm fighting like. Wait, when was this one?
Okay, so this is the new one.
Guilty. Yeah.
You checked off a plea of guilty. Do you
Yeah.
understand the options of guilty, not guilty, and no contest?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your other three cases, you were already found guilty. So what we're just trying to do is figure out what we're doing. And I think what I'm looking at doing is ordering community service.
I had ordered I had asked for community service because at that time I had just came back from Honduras, so I didn't have no job. I had lost it due to leaving for family problems back there, and I wasn't here for like 2 months.
Right.
So I came back and I just started my job again like a week ago or something. I just wanted if I could get back to paying.
Okay, where are you working?
I'm working at Denny's, but my my payments have changed. I do pay rent now. Different than what I was doing. I don't live with my mom no more, so I do pay rent, I do pay bills, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so just I have a form with none of that. Okay, and so were you working at Denny's before?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the position that you have there?
I'm a server. I get $2.14 hourly. It's all depends on my tips.
Right. What do you think weekly you make roughly? I know it's rough.
I mean, right now I've only been scheduled for 2 days a week since I've been at this school. Since I'm taking school serious right now, I've only been scheduled 2 to 3 days. So I can roughly say a week I get probably $250.
That's still pretty good. Do you receive food stamps or other assistance?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. What is your rent like? What is your rent like?
$150.
$150. Okay. Do you have an electric bill or water bill or something?
Yeah, I have a phone bill. It's $150, and I pay gas money, so they can drop me off and pick me up to school, and I pay for $50 a week.
Okay. So yeah, that's kind of all. I still think that the appropriate action for me is to order community service. Okay. So, what do you think about that?
I live in Gatesville, so it's kind of a drive.
do you have nursing homes, churches, nonprofits, Goodwill, Salvation Army? And I mean, I get community service from over there all the time. People find nonprofit organizations over there all the time.
I think I just be okay with paying. I think paying, it makes it easier for me right now.
Is there an amount that you feel like you could always make monthly?
Yeah,
What
I
is
could
that
do.
amount?
Can I do $30, $40 maybe?
Yeah, I can start with 30
Okay.
dollars a month. You can always pay more and get done faster. Because this is
Yes,
going to take a while. You have a number of cases. I highly recommend that you get your registration done. And then if you get tickets, you show up on time. Because
Yes, ma'am.
that's creating added financial burden to you. Can you make your first payment?
I can make my first payment next week on Monday. I can ask to go there on Monday.
Okay. So that's the 19th.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
if I send this to you, a payment plan to you, can you print it, sign it, and get it back to me today? Or do you need to come over to do that?
No, I can ask for it to get printed at school.
Okay. You'll have to print it, sign it, and email it back, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Diaz. I'll need that today. We'll email it to you this morning, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Do I have to time on the phone with her? She told me that I would have to pay off an amount of money before I got back to paying monthly fees. What am I like? What is it gonna happen with that?
You don't have monthly fees, and you cut out about 3/4 of what you just said, but this is a payment plan for everything to get rolled into one thing.
Okay.
And that's a monthly payment. And then we'll just,
Okay.
this cases get paid off first. And as long as you're making payments, no more fees get added. There's a one-time fee of $15 for any balance that goes over 30 days. And
Yes,
then
ma'am.
it doesn't go up unless you make it go up by getting warrants.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mhm. So I go up there today I email the paper back today and I go up there on Monday.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yes. How can I get a school excuse for being on the meeting?
Can we send her a school excuse? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we'll email it with your payment plan.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Okay, well, I mean, I think it's an appropriate question. Yes. So James Tomei or Tommy? I don't see. There he is.
Can
Yes.
you? Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm well.
Let me get your file pulled. So that's one reason I'm talking to you. Okay, Mr. Tomei, there is a driving while license invalid charge. The fines and costs are $456.17. This is from September 19th, 2017. Due to the passage of time, the balance went up. I did receive information from you, including a no contest plea and a request for a deferred disposition. And then I also received an affidavit from you just saying that at this time, I think the word you used was you're in transition, or maybe you're that you are not able to make fines and costs through payment, and therefore I would consider community service. Have I summarized things properly?
Yes, ma'am, but I don't know about community service. I don't know about being around people at this time.
Okay.
I have severe PTSD and I panic attacks, and I'm really not in transition. I'm kind of transient. I went from a $70,000 a year job for 30 years with the state of Texas to 0 2 years ago whenever I started having these PTSD panic attacks. And I moved from place to place with friends. Right now, today, they were lucky enough to let me stay in a camper last night so I could make this meeting.
Okay, well, I appreciate all of that. Are you in the middle of like working? I got a couple of questions. One is just back to the driving license and valid charge. Do you know what's going on with your license?
What happened was, and I'm waiting for a response from Colleen. I guess somebody had used my identification. I was a police officer at the time. I was a Coryell County Deputy Sheriff. When this supposed ticket happened, I got there was a having no driver's license, which I had a driver's license at that time, and a no insurance, and it wasn't in my car. And I guess I got a response years later that they were going to invalidate my license because of that. And I've made contact with the Killeen court 3 times, the same letter that I gave you. I sent to Killeen. They don't respond. I tried to call. It's just continuous hold and hold and hold. And I'm trying to work through that one. I'm trying to get this ticket solved. I'm trying to go through this so maybe I can try to find some normalcy in my life again. But it's been just a compound of things. And that ticket in Killeen wasn't mine. I don't know how they came up with my identification or anything that steamrolled this into happening.
Okay. So right now we don't know where that is.
Right. I'm just, you're the court that has responded to this. So I'm trying to take care of this. And
That's good. We're good. The address that you gave us in West, is that an address that we can use to actually reach you?
yes. My friends, they're letting me use their mailing address in
Okay.
West. And so that's the one that I've been using. And my email address, my mom takes care of my phone for me. So I have a phone.
Okay. So that's good news. I'm trying to figure out a way to get, I hear what you're telling me. Okay. So I've got a packet that I often give people who are having licensing trouble. And it's a walkthrough for how to sort everything out, and figure out where the problems are and how they're going to impact and how to get an occupational license. And
Yes, ma'am.
the truth is people do a better job for themselves than almost anybody out there, like that could talk to you about this. Because the reality is it's a weird statement, I know, when I say this, but I think it's a true statement that our license is it's almost an intimate thing because nobody cares about it more than we do. It's kind of like our mailbox. It's kind of like our front doorstep. It's, it's an important issue. So
Yes, ma'am.
I can send you that information because what I have with the hold is creating an impact. Now, to get to the question of how to clear the case with me, I don't mind trying to do a deferred. I will tell you that a deferred during a suspension, DPS still gets notice of that deferred, and they still utilize that deferred in how they treat your record with them. And so
Right.
I don't find that I have not found in what people report back to me, unless the rules have changed, what people report back to me is it was an extra added layer of stress for them, and it did nothing to help the situation. I don't mind doing it, but I just want to let you know that the impact may still be there, and I need to get your signature on it deferred on top of it all.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, so I'll conditionally tell you, yes, I would grant that in this case, but one of my conditions, besides not getting more tickets and not getting, further violations, is that I get a valid license from you within 4 months of the deferral beginning. Because that's my, that's a requirement that I have. So you would need to work on either getting an occupational or getting your license back one way or the other. An occupational license, once these kind of problems hit your record, that sometimes there's a big suspension. And to get over that, I call the occupational a bridge from not a good license to a good license, where you're allowed to be out driving and doing things and not worried, right? So normalcy is the word you use. It's a way to do that. So I'm gonna, I can mail that packet to your West address, or I can email the information to you. Email it, okay.
Either one will be fine. And just, I appreciate the deferred. If we could just get rid of all the cloudiness and get me to an end point is kind of what I'm trying to get to. So I appreciate it.
So I can email the deferred. Sorry, I'm making some notes. Now, payment of fines and costs. Are you treating with someone for PTSD?
Not yet. What happened was the Social Security Administration deems it the workers, it's the fault of the Texas Department of Public Safety and the Coryell County Sheriff's Department. They're saying it's work related, so they won't honor it. And the Coryell County Sheriff's Department and the Texas Department of Criminal Justice are saying it's not work related. This is why since 2020, I haven't had an income. I've lost my car, my house, everything.
Okay. I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry that that's what you're going through. So what I can do is the deferral. And I think that, I did receive your letter. They printed it back out for me. And I'm going to go ahead and use the information provided in the letter to waive your fines and costs.
Yes, ma'am.
I can release the even once we get his deferral. And I'll waive fines and costs. The deal can be released. So I'll be able to release your license from my hold once I get your signature on the deferral. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
If I email that deferral to you,
I can get it here. Yes, ma'am.
Is there a way that you can print it and sign it?
Pardon?
Is there a way that you can print it and sign it and send it?
Yes, they'll let me print it and sign it here.
Okay. All right. Hold on, I'm just making notes. Can you send it back today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Does it need to be scanned and sent back, or do you need an actual signature and mailed it back?
I'm not sure the question. It does need to be signed and sent back.
Right.
That can be a scan, that can be an email, that can be a photo that you take. I mean, the technology, if I can read it,
Okay.
I'm good. I don't need it to conform to a specific format. As long
Yes,
as I
ma'am.
can read it, as long as it's visibly readable and it is your signature, we're good. I'm not a formality kind of judge.
Okay.
Okay. And then we'll also send that, what I call the walkthrough packet. The walkthrough packet is really the steps that you can take to get your license.
Okay,
You know, if you wind up needing, it will show you how to identify what you need, you know, as well. So sometimes people aren't sure, do they need an occupational or can they just get their regular license back? And this will walk you through how to even know the answer to that question, you know. So that can help too, and it gives you steps. And I include, this is all information available on the internet, that if you knew where to look, you would print it for yourself. And it's on the Texas Law Library. It's for pro se litigants. And, you know, I'm just connecting you to that. But, and once you get it, you'll start seeing what I've already sent you, because the websites will be on the paperwork, okay? But the forms you need will be in there. You print them and fill them out and file them. It'll tell you how to find the right court and how to get that court to waive your filing fees, you know. So
Yes, ma'am.
getting your license back can be your first job, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I'll email you the deferred back, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
It's just gonna say from today until January 17th, you're on a deferred disposition, that your fines and costs have been waived due to the information you provided, that I would like to get your license back. Actually, I'm gonna say your deferred ends February 14th, because I want to give you 4 months to get a license of some kind. Or
Okay.
communicate with me about what's happening with that by January 17th, the license or a letter talking to me about it. And then you sign that and that's your deferral. Okay.
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
no tickets during this time. Okay.
Promise.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Yeah, just a moment. Mr. Tommy, do you have any further questions?
No, ma'am. I understand everything.
Okay, you're good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hang in there.
I wanted to offer help for him.
Okay, well, I will talk with you in a moment. Miss Allen, I'm glad you spoke up though, because I didn't see that you were in the meeting. There you are. Okay, where are you? Where do you live? In Belton?
Yes.
Okay. I can reach out to him. What kinds of services?
Well, so we have a nonprofit. When he was talking the whole time, I was just wanting to say something, but like we have a I have a nonprofit that I'm involved with. It's called Fresh Start. It's helping those that want to help themselves. And like in his situation, we like literally like it's to navigate, can help him navigate through whatever situation he has using other nonprofits in place. So I would love.
Email me the information, I can supply it to him. He is in a different
Okay.
community. He is in a different community than you. So
Okay.
I don't know, but I can make the
Okay.
we will be with you soon. Mr. Mattson, let me I think you were talking with Mr. Trevino. Sorry.
Yes, Your Honor, I was.
Great. Where are we with Mr. Trevino?
Mr. Trevino has accepted a deferral offer. He'll be sending a 3A driving record to the court, and once that's received, I will draft the deferral paperwork and send it over for signature.
Okay, that's today that we're getting all that done.
Mr. Trevino, I believe that is the case, correct?
What is that?
You'll be sending over your 3A driving record today?
Yeah, if I can get it processed and everything today, I was gonna just drop it off.
So here's the thing, I don't do court dates that are maybes. Either we're rescheduling the case for a different day or we're getting signatures on everything today. And I need to know the plan, and I don't know in the deferral how payment is being made, and that's also got to be in that deferral. It's $269. When is that getting paid?
What?
Mr. Trevino had indicated to me that he wanted to do it in installments.
Okay, what's the plan on that? Because I'm not really seeing a need to do a whole lot of that. I can break it into 2 payments. I can also give 30 days.
Would the two payments be 30 days from today and 60 days from today?
It can be.
So then we do the first payment by October 13th. And the second payment by November 11th.
Okay. Mr. Trevino, do you accept?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll grant the deferred on the red light charge. The deferral will be 120 days. That means that it ends January 17th of 2023. There is a 3-day record that is due today and payment, half of the payment due, that's $134.50 on October 13th. The other half due November 15th. If that can be sent, Mr. Mattson, over once you're comfortable with your deferral, but I expect that we do this paperwork today.
Yes, Your Honor, I will send that form over.
Okay. I'm gonna just put a note that you're drafting that one. And we'll get it from you, and then we'll get it to Mr. Trevino, who will need to sign. Oh, hold on a second. Oh. Okay. Well, he's not right now. He's suspended. Yeah, I think so. Okay, thank you. We're good to go on that. Mr. Trevino, do you have any further questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know, they'll pick it back if there's a problem. Okay, Mr. Mattson, I'm gonna move you forward with Quintisha Riggins. I think she's been here in and out, just having a lot of technical problems this morning, but it looks like it's cleared up. So she was one of the first.
Good morning.
Hi, Ms. Riggins.
Can you hear me? Yes, my phone was, I've been in and out. I'm so sorry. Good morning.
I know you've been in and out.
Yeah, because my phone, hold on, I can't hear you either. God.
Yeah, I can tell because you're talking. So can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, Mr. Mattson, I'm gonna move her over, and Ms. Riggins, I'm gonna move you over to that meeting. But I
Yes.
also have with you a case for no insurance.
Yes, ma'am.
And so we need to address that with you, as well as some cases that are pending with the court.
What was the last part? You said you had to address that with me, and then I couldn't hear the last part. Yeah.
As well as I've got several things going on with you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Stop talking for a minute because you're talking when I'm talking and it cancels me out. And then you wind up not hearing what I'm trying to let you know.
Okay, yes.
You're going to meet about the handicap charge parking. And
I'm struggling to hear you, Your Honor.
Yeah, okay. You may have to hang up the call. Get louder. Can't turn my thing up any louder. And maybe it's just so let's try again.
Okay.
Right now, I'm going to move you forward with Miss Allen, and I'll sort out with Miss Riggins when she dials back in. Okay. So I have two Miss Allens today, so I'm sorting out too. Miss Rebecca Allen just moved over. Miss Riggins, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, but I don't think you were hearing me because I was trying to talk to you and you were just talking. So listen, and let me kind of give you the rundown, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So I have a driving while license invalid charge with you, and it is from April 9th, and the fines and costs on that are $430.30. I did enter a plea on paper of guilty and requested community service. Is that your plea at this time?
Yes, for community service. Yes, ma'am.
On that charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I also received from you a plea of not guilty on an April 9th charge of speeding with fines and costs of $499.20. And this is back from that April 9, same date as the other one, but on this one you had pleaded not guilty. Is that correct?
You said that was for speeding. Is that what I heard you say? Yeah, I think yeah, because he said I was speeding, but I don't feel like I was speeding, so that's why I put not.
Right, so we just stopped the conversation on that one, but I'm just confirming the plea.
Yes, ma'am.
And then May 21st of 2022, there is a parking and a handicap charge, the first time that's been charged ever for you. And the fines and costs are $269. And I have a not guilty plea, and you're meeting with Mr. Mattson on both of those not guilty pleas.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I have two older cases from 2021. You've already been found guilty on those charges of no insurance and expired license, and those are balances that are going to be in your community service order. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, and I am granting your community service request those balances. I am going to ask that you meet with Mr. Mattson before I proceed to see if I have any direction on those cases.
Yes, ma'am.
And we'll move forward, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Just wait till he comes back, and then you'll be next to meet with him, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. I'll mute you until he's back, okay? All right. Thank you. I don't know if there's anything you got there. Wow. Okay. All right. So let me just do that one. Okay, moving forward. Mr. Riemann. Mr. Riemann or Rethman?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. So the thing that I told them that they could schedule you to come meet with me. Just so we had older cases from. Oh yeah, you're scheduled for next week, but I'll go ahead and talk to you now. No, you're not scheduled at all. We saw you back in August. Sorry, I'm getting a little turnaround on dates today. Give me a second. Let me pull up some notes and make sure that I'm talking to who I think I'm talking to. Because I think your case was one where
I plead guilty on it, and that make it actually worse on my, because I was trying to get my CDL license. That's what I do. I mean, and I had the guy told me, I'm like, if you can pass that written test, I can give you the job. Meanwhile, you get the physical pass, so you can go with me, because I can sit with him and I can drive with him, so I mean, and that's I don't have any other job right now, so that actually I didn't know about that, and I plead guilty on it, and that make my license suspend, so I'm like,
I do know, but listen, I'm going to tell you something. The charge was a license and being invalid. And if your license was invalid, I mean, the allegation was June 11th of 2018. If your license was invalid on June 11th, 2018, and you entered a plea to that charge, there's not, if you had pleaded not guilty, do you think you could have proven that your case, that it was not?
I was wondering, is there a way I can get another court date, and
I'm not able to. I'm not able to, because once you enter that plea, once you make that payment,
I called in city of Austin, and they said, the judge can,
Well, I'm not, if they're gonna represent you in your case here, I disagree.
okay.
And the city of Austin is, if they're your attorney, they need to file something, but the fact is, I mean, you already put this case behind you. And I'm not able to reverse it like that, not.
Is there a way, like I can if you can do me a favor, because that's the way I can get the.
Okay, I gotta mute you because you're gonna keep telling me the same thing over, and you're not hearing what I'm telling you. Judges who do favors are corrupt, and I don't do favors. One, okay, we gotta get clear about that. Two, you already dealt with your case, and once you did that, there was a time frame. And then it became a final thing. And it's not that I'm not willing to do a favor, it's that the law doesn't allow me to do what you're asking me to do. I'm not legally allowed to do it. So the answer is no, because I don't break the law. I'm sorry that that results in a problem, but the reality is, even if I had granted a deferred for you, it would not help you because the state of Texas would receive that deferred. Now, I don't know who's giving you legal advice, but they aren't legally representing you here. It's always better to get that advice before you move forward. But you had a case with the court that you had let sit for quite a while. These are 2018 cases. And it created a kind of a double bind for you. And I'm sorry that someone promised you a job who didn't know all the facts, but the fact is, these are 2018 cases. And once you do that, especially with a suspension, you kind of put yourself in a double bind by ignoring it. So I let them schedule you to talk to me because the back and forth on email is not something that works. And no one at the front desk is in a position to explain the law to you the way I can. I'm explaining it to you, but I'm not able to grant the request that you have today. It's just, it's legally a hard no. I'm not able to do that. And with the law doesn't let me.
I mean, so I can request you to just hear me out and one more time for the court date.
Heard you, but no, it doesn't change it.
Because I didn't know actually what exactly I was pleading in.
I understand that you did that and didn't seek more information. But the information is available online. The information's available on the website. The information's out there. And I can't be your legal advisor. All I can do is provide information. And a person has to choose to avail themselves of that information.
So what exactly you suggest me to do right now?
I can't do anything for you. I just let them schedule you so that I can tell you that. I believe you have the dignity to be told that and not just run around in circles when the answer is I'm not able to do what you're asking.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but the law doesn't let me do it. So there's limits on judicial power, and there's a limit on that, and we're there. So I have to let you go at this time, but I did want to talk to you about it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Mr. Redline.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
Good luck. If you need to get a license, you're looking for an occupational license.
Yeah, but I can't get on CDL, exam.
CDL rules, that you were never going to jump through the hoop of the CDL rule with a warrant and a 4-year-old case in my court. They were never going to give it to you.
I thought if I have this case is gone, because out of my record, and instead of that coming out of my record, it came on my record.
Well, the thing is though, no, it was already on your record because I had a hold on your ability to renew your license because you neglected your case for 4 years. They just hadn't gotten deep enough to find that yet. And yeah, it does go on your record in a different way, but this way now is final, a final way, so that it will actually be behind you.
Is
Any
there, way,
questions?
is there a way you can shorten my, suspension or something?
No, because that's DPS. DPS has taken action against you. I am not DPS.
Okay.
I can send you, can we send him a license packet? I can send you an information packet for how to get an occupational license so that you don't keep having, because the more you drive and get suspended and neglect cases, the longer your suspension will be.
My driving license was not suspended before, like it was just,
But it was going to be.
yeah.
Yeah, because once you neglected your case for 4 years and I put a hold on your renewal, it was going to trigger a suspension. So I can't undo what you did there. I'm not able to. I need to let you go, okay?
Okay.
Okay. I do wish you well.
Thank you.
We're emailing you an occupational license packet.
Okay.
That will help you figure out how to be like a normal person driving at least until you get through what's happened here. Because I believe they will suspend you. I think that that's a certainty, but maybe not. And it'll tell you how to figure that out if that's happening.
Okay.
That way you can educate yourself so the next time you can treat it a little differently.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you, ma'am.
I do need to scan this thing. Thanks. Okay. Mr. Matson, I know that you and Miss Allen have visited, and that actually gave me an opportunity to visit with Miss Riggins as well. So before I move over to her, let me ask where we are with regard to Miss Allen's cases.
Your Honor, we're going to go ahead and set for final.
Okay. Final pretrial in this case, on these cases, will be October 5th at 1. And that's when we will schedule trial and the type of trial and so forth, okay? Any questions? Sorry, I can't hear you even though you're unmuted. Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you. Mr. Matson, I did visit with Miss Riggins and her audio, we just had to disconnect and reconnect and it worked. And so Miss Riggins has 2 cases that are pending with a not guilty plea. One is for speeding, one is for the handicap parking charge, 2 different dates. She is, I am generating a community service order with her on her cases regarding the other matters that I have with her, just so you know that that's the sentencing mechanism that I'm using right now. Ms. Riggins, I'm moving you over to that meeting with him. She's moved to a different room. I don't know how that will work, but anyway. Okay, so I am moving forward then with Jasmine Locke. If you can get on screen, please. Hi, Ms. Locke, can you unmute?
Hello.
Hi. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We have service due 55 hours. It was.
I'm sorry. I can't really hear you.
Okay. Well, I can hear you.
You said 55 hours of community service.
Yes. You had 55 hours of community service, 53, excuse me, due August 9th. It's actually been due since March.
Mhm.
I don't think I've gotten any hours. I keep getting extensions requests from you, but no progress. What's going on?
I currently don't have a vehicle and I don't have a babysitter. I'm a single mother, and for the past 2 months I've been having really bad pain, like couldn't sleep because my wisdom teeth was coming in sideways, but I just got them pulled last Thursday.
Doing what? Okay.
Yeah. But I would like to like request like if I can just pay it, it would be more convenient instead of like getting myself into a deeper hole. Like I'd rather just get on a payment plan.
Well, I don't see how you could. You're telling me you don't have income.
Well, my grandmother is gonna help me with that.
What are you proposing?
Um, like 150 a month.
50 a month?
$150 a month.
Okay. Can you make a payment today?
By the end of the week, yeah, but today it's kind of short notice, so
Okay. By the 16th.
yeah.
Do you need your signature today?
Mm-hmm.
Can you come by so we can do that?
Yeah, I just come up to the municipal court.
Yes.
Okay, so like, can I come in like as soon as I get off the Zoom meeting, just drive up there and do the signature?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And then you can pay online or by phone or by coming by.
Okay, so just be like 150 monthly until everything's paid off.
Yeah.
Okay, you said the 16th, correct?
Yeah, that's Friday.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's
We'll
fine.
see you at the window this morning.
Okay.
Okay, coming by noon.
Yeah.
Okay. I've made notes. I'll have it ready for you at the front.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll let you go.
All right.
Just one moment. Yes, moving forward, if I could talk to Brian McClinton. Okay, Mr. McClinton. How are you? I'm just barely like catching a faint whiff of a voice. Something's going on with your audio. Mine's turned off. Yeah.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah, I think it's something wrong with the microphones on this phone. So I'm kind of talking a little slanted here to you. Is that okay?
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My thing is, Your Honor, I tried to get that documentation from the VA that you had requested of me.
Yes,
and
sir.
I could not get that documentation, and I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. I tried to get my primary care provider to write it down and send in the documentation to you. She refused to do it. And I don't understand that. And then the conclusion is that, ma'am, I just rather go ahead and do a payment plan. I could have had it paid off by now.
Okay. And so,
You know?
Yeah, I do know. And my question is, so there's a lot here. And some of it's a little bit older. What would be a payment that you could make each month?
I think I put it down on there.
You did, but it was a high amount. So I just want to make sure I understand you.
What did I put down, may I ask?
Right, you wrote down that you would pay $713.70 a month. Which,
And how many months?
well, I could give you a while. So what are you able to pay monthly?
Can I pay at least 200?
You turn your head again. You said two what?
Can I pay 200 a month?
Yes, you can. Can you come by the court to sign this?
Of course, yes, I can, Your Honor.
What's the day for payment? Do you want to start today?
Let's start on the 26th of next month of this month.
Of this month. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. When will we see you this morning?
I'm gonna try to get over there this morning. Can I come tomorrow morning, or do I have to come today?
Normally I try to do it today unless there's something going on that I need to be made aware of.
I do, Your Honor. I've got some other pending issues and appointments after this.
Okay.
So it would just have me kind of pushing it, and I'm trying to get a ride and everything so I can better plan for that by way of coming tomorrow.
Okay, so by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning?
Yes, ma'am. I will be there first thing when you open.
Okay, all right.
By 10, that's acceptable.
We open at 8, but by 10 is fine.
All righty. I appreciate you, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll see you then.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. And
Thank
have
you.
a good day.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Mr. McClinton. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Mr. Matson, I know that you were talking to Ms. Riggins, and Ms. Riggins, if you could unmute.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Mr. Matson, where are we with regard to those matters that are still pending?
Your Honor, Ms. Riggins has accepted a plea deal. She's going to plead no contest on the speeding ticket in exchange for the handicap parking ticket being dismissed.
Okay. All right, I will sign the dismissal and I'll add the other one to the community service order. And Ms. Riggins, the city is one of the providers on the list of places that does community service. You don't have to work with them, but if you do, they require a waiver be on file, so you'll sign that waiver this morning. And then the remaining balance, and I will sign the prosecutor dismissal. The remaining balance then drops down to $19.59 from from 25.28. And the 19.59 then has community service of 98 hours, which we're going to start with a first due date of November 11th. And that'll give me a chance to see, how much more time you might need. You'll turn in what you have at that point. If you've done it all, great. There's still hours to be done. Turn in what you have. And then I will, look at what you've done and see, kind of gauge how much more time you might need. Okay.
Yes,
And,
ma'am. And
yes.
I have a question also. I was wondering about how to go about, or if you could tell me about occupational license.
I can give you that information at the window when you come in to sign. Because I can't give you legal advice, but I can give you a packet to work through and figure that out for yourself, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When are you coming by today to sign up?
The office closed at what, 4:30?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be by way before then. I have to get dressed and stuff, so probably around noon, 1, somewhere.
Okay, I'll just put 1 o'clock by that time, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, thank you, Ms. Riggins.
Thank you.
You take care. We'll see
You have a
soon.
blessed day. You take care too.
Thank you. Mr. Matson, I believe you had 100% turnout rate today.
We did indeed.
I was going to reach out to Mr. Nuttall, to Kyle. I just don't think I have enough to go with a meeting at 11. I just need to catch up with my breath over here. It's been chaotic for days and I need to just ask to reschedule.
Not a problem, Your Honor.
It looks like you're at City Hall. Is he over there with you?
I'll go across and check and let him know. That actually works great for me because I have a county docket this afternoon and I have a hearing with Mr. Kaser
Yeah,
afterwards.
that was another concern, is that I think that meeting should be all three of us, or at least you and I. So if you could catch him before he heads over here, that would be awesome.
I will do so, Your Honor.
I'm still in court.
I'll go let him know and then I will send over all of the paperwork that I owe you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Judge.
Call the desk over here if you don't get him, so I can look for him.
I will do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Your Honor.
Okay, I am continuing to move forward. My next person is Brett Houston. Can you get on the screen? Mr. Houston, are you there?
All right, does that work?
Well, that's Ashante Gills, who is not Brett Houston. So I was trying to get Mr. Houston.
I'm here.
Okay,
I'm
good.
trying to help him.
Okay, I have no way to know that y'all are together because you also have a case. So right now,
Oh, no.
Right now I'm gonna talk to Mr. Houston.
Okay.
Mr. Houston?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Judge Person. I did receive a couple of slips from you.
We can't hear you. We couldn't hear you.
Okay.
We can't.
Yeah.
It's cutting out.
Okay. Your audio, ma'am. Why don't y'all just get on your screen?
It's asking for me to be unmuted. I'm not the woman that's speaking, however.
Okay. Are you with Mr. Houston?
No, I am not. That was not me speaking. That was someone else.
Okay, it's confusing sometimes because you started talking and she started talking. Okay, I apologize, Ms. Gills. I'll be with you shortly. Mr. Houston, let's
Yes,
try
ma'am.
again. You're not
Yes, ma'am.
able,
Pardon me?
so you're not able to hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, because the solution is to hang up and try again if it keeps happening, because my volume is as loud as it can go. And unless I scream, I'm as loud as I can go. So
I can hear you.
there's a problem on your end and you'll have to solve it by trying to reconnect your audio. And the only way to do that is to hang up and try again.
I can hear you.
Okay, could you give me your date of birth, please?
Date of birth is 3/8/63.
Okay. And I am talking to, Simon, you're not on screen. So your middle name, please, your full name.
Brett Lee Houston.
Okay. Mr. Houston, there is, I'm gonna walk through, I think we are. There's a solicitation by a pedestrian and the fines and costs are $295.10. And I have a guilty plea on that charge.
Yes, ma'am.
A request for community service. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Then there's a solicitation by a pedestrian from October 13th of 2020. The fines and costs are $418.60. And I have a plea of guilty and a request for community service. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then I have a prohibited camping charge and the fines and costs are $381. And this is from August 4th of 2022. And I have a plea of guilty and a request for community service. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I also have information that leads me to understand you are legally indigent and therefore I will order community service.
Yes, ma'am.
I do need to tell you, are you treating with a physician?
Pardon me?
Are you treating a physician for your disability at this time?
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to get my benefits from Social Security,
Okay,
and that I'm waiting for their decision.
okay. So have you seen the doctor lately?
I haven't been to the doctor lately.
Okay,
I'll be going next month.
okay. That's good timing. Because
Right.
what I need to do is order community service, which is 55 hours.
Okay.
Due November 15th, which can be done at any nonprofit. I have a list of places where you can do the work. They include the city of Temple and they do require a signature. I do need to get your signature today on that. And then
Yes,
I
ma'am.
give you a timesheet to keep track of your hours, a list of rules and a list of places. When can I see you today at the court?
As soon as I get through here,
Okay,
I was gonna have lunch and then I was gonna come to y'all.
okay. We'll look for you around 1 o'clock
Okay.
and
Thank-
55 hours due November 15th, or you have to turn in what you have and get an extension. Don't blow it off and go back to warrant, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
My license, I have a hole in your license, which I'll release as soon as I can clear your cases.
That's
Definitely,
fine.
yeah, definitely talk to your physician about the community service and make sure that there aren't any concerns. If your physician has concerns, you need to get them to put it in writing.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm looking for your hours by November 15th, or turn in what you have and request an extension.
That sounds great, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll have everything at the window at 1 o'clock, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
May I
Bye-bye.
leave? All right.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. Miss Gills? Hi, Miss Gills, can you get muted? There you go.
Hi.
Hi, it says you're on video, but I can't see you, just so you know.
Yeah, it's acting crazy.
So, yeah, so I did receive well, it's a little odd, okay? I received a plea on a case. It's not written down what the case is, but the number you wrote down is a vaccination charge issued regarding a dog or a cat, January 7th of 2019, and a plea of no contest. Is that your plea at this time?
Well, I want to know like what this case is exactly, I guess.
Okay.
What is the charge?
You come into the court at all? I mean,
I'm sorry, your tone is going down.
into the court at all? Have you come over here to look at your file?
Your voice is going quiet now.
Okay, well, I can't talk louder.
It was once loud and then it just started to go lower.
What's going on with your audio? Just hang up and call back. Miss Allen, Ivory Allen, can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. It's a stop sign charge with fines and costs.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I don't know if I can. Hello?
Hi.
I think you can mute. I can't hear anything.
Right, I don't know what to do if you can't hear me.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, Miss Allen,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Judge Person. There's
Good morning.
morning. There's a stop sign charge from July
Yes, ma'am.
July 22nd with fines and costs of $234, and you entered a plea of guilty and requested community service. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you just recently had a layoff at Arco Bell, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so, um, I can grant community service, and it's 12 hours, and it's due October 13th. And I need you to come by the court to pick up your paperwork.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
When can you be here this morning?
Yes, ma'am. I can be here within like 30 minutes.
Okay. All right, we'll have everything at the front desk, including a timesheet to keep track of your hours, a list of places, and a list of rules that you need to follow to get credit, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll have it at the front for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Bye-bye. Okay, Ms. Gills, is it better? Can you hear me? I'll need you to unmute so I can hear you.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yes.
Great. So, I noticed that you're in Minnesota, perhaps. Can I see?
That's correct.
Okay, let me try to pull up what we have and see if I can look at it. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just pulling everything open. So, yeah, you adopted a dog here at the city back in, I'm looking at it, 2018, September 7th. And then let's go. And, you know, that required that you provide proof of rabies vaccination and of neutering by a deadline. And they didn't receive it, so they filed a charge against you for that.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. That's why there are cases. So I did receive a plea from you on both of those cases of, of no contest. And then I did get your note about a financial situation that you're in. And right now, just you have disability coming in and nothing further. Are you living with your mother?
Correct. So this dog was an emotional support dog. And I eventually had to get rid of it because it had separation anxiety. And whenever I would leave, it would, just bark crazy. And I was staying on Temple College campus at the time, and they did not allow me to keep the dog. I was never aware that this is what these cases was about. I thought these was some type of driving citations, actually.
Right. Well, I mean, that agreement that you signed just tells you that they'll file a charge if they don't get notice. So what I was asking you is, are you living with your mother or is she living with you? What's the situation?
Correct. I'm staying with her.
Okay. So do you pay her $1,395 a month in rent?
I'm sorry.
Will you put down that you have rent of $1,395? Is that her?
Yeah.
Your rent.
That's her rent, correct. And I'm just helping her pay her rent until she's back working.
Okay.
So that's been for the last 2 months here.
Okay. And you also put down you help with the water bill.
Correct.
And you help with the cable bill.
Yes.
And that you have insurance that you pay. Is that for your vehicle?
Correct. I'm trying to get back on the road with the vehicle. I haven't driven it since 2019. I separated from the military in 2016, and I had really bad PTSD, anxiety, and depression, which caused me to get the dog down the line. Just trying to regain, stability. I was driving back and forth from work for an hour after working 12, 14-hour shifts to Austin at a nursing home, and I would fall asleep, and I had received a few citations, which I thought this is what I was covering. I was not even aware of the entire dog situation, as I didn't have the dog very long due to the dog's separation anxiety issues.
Hey, I have a question. What is your
Yes.
student loan payment every month?
I'm sorry.
What is your student loan payment every month?
Actually, I just got a notification that it dropped down to 0.
Okay. Okay. That's good to hear.
Yes.
And then okay, so I'm showing that we can do low payments and that I can do reduction of your fines.
Okay.
Just give me one moment. Can you pay $50 a month?
I'm currently unable to pay any money, which is why I asked for community service. So
Okay, do you receive disability?
I do. Right now I'm at 70% and considered unemployable due to migraines and PTSD.
Okay, what is the amount of the disability?
Right now, with the unemployability, it's 3,000. I think 300.
Okay, yeah, that's what you let us know. And then your mother's rent is $13.95.
Correct.
And the electric bill runs about $140.
Correct.
And the water bill runs about $8 a month.
Correct.
Your cell phone $89.
Yep.
You're budgeting for $100 for food right now.
Yes.
$220 for insurance.
Yes.
$95 for cable.
Correct.
And then I guess gas, you wrote down $20. Someone wrote it down.
I wrote down what?
Someone wrote down $20 or you wrote it down. I don't know. I don't know. What is your budget for gasoline?
Gas is about 120 per month.
Okay. So what other bills do you have?
Car note at 550.
Oh, well, you didn't put that down at all.
Medical insurance.
And how much do you pay for that? You're not having TRICARE?
Yes, I do have TRICARE, but there's it's limited to everything that's associated with my disabilities. I pay $220 for Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Okay, so that with the car payment looks different. Okay, I can order community service, but I don't know if you're going to be able to do it. You can do it up there at any nonprofit.
Yeah, I've been speaking with the church that I've been attending, letting them know that I'm trying to get my things in order, and I may want to do some community service with them, and they are open to it.
Okay, it has to be a nonprofit under state law. It also has to be supervised by someone who can verify and who is authorized to verify your hours. Okay. I've just been having a lot of struggle with churches around here lately.
What about the Salvation Army?
I don't know, as long as it's a nonprofit. So what I was saying is you'll have to for me, but it's a nonprofit. So just be aware that that's a requirement. It says it in the rules that I'll send you. I'll send you a list of rules, a timesheet, a list of local places, and I need back a waiver form that will also be included. I can email it to you if you can print it and sign it and email it back to me.
Is this two separate cases, or is this just one case?
It's both cases together, turns into 42 hours to November 15th. Or turn in how much you've done and let me know how much more time you think you need and apply for an extension.
Okay, and is this something that's affecting my driver's license as well?
Let me look and see. Is there a license on? Yeah, I do have a hold on your license, but I'll clear up as soon as I can clear the cases.
Okay, so I don't know. I guess I'm confused. So is this gonna be like something that's like on my background or on my record, or what is?
Driving record issue, because it's just a local, it's a local law, and I don't see. I don't know. I can't give you legal advice, but I can tell you that the hold on the license renewal in the state of Texas, I don't know the relationship legally that Texas has with Minnesota, so I really can't talk to you about that. I know that I will not be releasing that until I get the case is cleared, which is I either get payment or I get your hours.
Okay. And then what's the total amount of payment if I was to if I was to not be able to do the community service for some reason due to nonprofit?
It's $834.60.
And then what are these cases? Like, what is the citation?
So as I've said at the beginning, vaccination of a dog, you had to provide proof of vaccination back at that time when you adopted that dog, and then proof of neutering for that dog.
Okay.
And that's what the cases are about. And you wrote down pleas, and I've accepted your pleas. And I'm just about to pull the trigger on ordering community service. Is there any reason why I shouldn't do that at this time?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still willing to do the community service, I guess, but I want to change, knowing now what this case is about, I want to change it from no contest to not guilty.
Oh, well, then we don't do any of this. I schedule you for a trial and you come down and we have a trial. That's how that works.
So I have to be, that has to be in person?
Yeah, trials are in person. They have to be under the Constitution.
Okay, well, I have to just stick to no contest because I have no way of getting to Texas.
Right. Okay. So
we can proceed with the community service.
That's every option under the book. What are you trying to do at this time?
We can proceed with the community service.
Okay, I will accept your pleas of no contest on both cases. I will order your fines and costs be paid through community service. It's 42 hours due by November 15th. I will ask you this once again. If I email you the information, I need a signature back. Can I get that from you today?
I won't be, I'm working today. I won't be able to get it back to you until first thing in the morning.
Okay. I'll just put by 9 o'clock tomorrow. I can't recall your warrants till I get your signature.
I'm sorry.
I cannot recall your warrants until I get your signature.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Giles.
Thank you.